Bar and Grill, mailboxes and more. The Chewelah Valley Lions Club, Dawson Trucking Incorporated, and DTI Ready Mix. New Health, serving Chewelah and Colville. The Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary, the Nordlig Motel, Chewelah, PACA, and the Chewelah Center for the Arts. Richmond Logging, SETI's Ace Hardware, the Chewelah Independent, and the Trails Inn Gallery.
KCHW 102.7 Northern Lights Public Radio. We are the music education station.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
I told you the intro was cheesy. I was going to say that exact thing. Good afternoon and welcome to About the Arts. We are here at KCHW 102.7. We're joined with Tim Niels from the Trails Inn Gallery. We have Jamie Thompson here, one of this month's featured artists at the Art Walk, and Kim Long, one of the other artists featured this month at the Art Walk.
Hi.
Good evening, good afternoon, early evening, late afternoon. Welcome to KCHW. You guys are on the air, so go ahead and make sure you get close to those microphones.
Okay. Thank you.
And welcome to the show. Tim doesn't have a microphone today, so we're gonna trade off and on. Showed up late and trying to scramble to get or you guys showed up early. I was late getting ready for you, and my extra microphone was missing. That's okay. You can come over here and lean over my shoulder if you need to talk at all there, Tim. So welcome everybody. Go ahead and give a little introduction to yourself, and what's your little history about your art and what you're doing here.
All right, I'm Jamie Thompson, and I'm a Colville artist, and I work with mixed media techniques. I do a lot of printmaking and painting, collage. Work with encaustics, some sculptural stuff, book arts, so a little bit of everything. And yeah, I've been creating artwork my entire life, and I'm really excited to be showing at the Trails Inn Gallery with Kim Long here.
Did you add actor in there too?
Oh yes, that is
there
true.
You go.
There you go. Wow. New adventure.
All right, Kim, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kim Long, and I am a full-time fine artist, and I do highly imaginative, detailed paintings.
A little closer.
With pen and acrylic, usually in transparent watercolor-ish styles. And I love doing animals and people with a twist.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. What's the twist?
Well, like one of the paintings I brought today is Fox and Rocks, and it's a young man. My model was 12 years old, and I twisted it and gave him a fox's head and a fox's coat, but he very much has a human body, but with the coloring of a fox.
Very cool. And I'm sorry, did you say you were from Chewelah?
I'm from Spokane.
From Spokane. Oh,
yeah.
Well, welcome to Chewelah.
Thank you.
And I know we've had you on the show before, if I remember correctly.
I don't think
we?
so. No,
I've met you before.
Somewhere, probably maybe at the gallery.
Probably.
Yeah.
That happens.
Because I'm very happily part of the gallery now.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
And I know, Kim, you've been excited. I've been seeing it. Kim.
Jamie.
You're Kim,
I'm
Jamie.
Hi,
I'm
Chuck.
verklempt today. I know Jamie well. She was on the board of the Creative District for a long time. One of my good friends. We've acted together.
We have.
And
it was really fun.
I don't think we've created art together because I'm not necessarily an artist, but
no.
But yeah, you're very excited. I've seen you posted on Facebook, and this is your first time at the Trails Inn Gallery.
Yes. Well, I participated in the plein air event.
Yes.
It was last month. So that was really awesome. And also I was participated in Winterfest, which is also a really great event.
It really is.
Now showing alongside Kim Long. And yeah, really exciting.
That is cool. So tell us a little bit about what you're bringing to this event? What kind of pieces you're bringing? Is there a specific style you're doing, or?
So I'm doing the work that's on display. I would describe as mixed media. So there's encaustic work. There's collage work. There's sculptural work, and prints. So and books.
Now,
Yeah.
for the people listening that don't know already, describe encaustic.
So
What is that?
encaustic is beeswax, and it's like a tree sap, I think, mixed in with it.
Very cool.
Yes,
You
I'm
still-
going to go with that.
Okay, so beeswax, wax. So it's a
And like a tree sap.
so it's
I'm
more
not
of
sure
a
that-
so it's more of a dimensional type painting, but
Yeah,
but
and
with
you
with
can-
an extra dimension.
Yeah, and you can dip collage work into it and paint onto it. And it makes work archival, so it will last forever.
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool.
And I've always wondered. I think I've had conversations with Tim before. Do you have to worry about heat with encaustic art?
I wouldn't put it right in direct sunlight. You have to be mindful of that.
Which is probably good with any art. You don't want it to be in
Yeah.
direct sunlight. Probably don't leave
Absolutely,
leave
that's-
your fine art in your car on days like today. 'Cause
Right.
Holy cow.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although I did find I had some foam soundproof batting that I just got in package, and it comes vacuum packed, and it wasn't expanding. So I put it in the car today and went back out after like 5 minutes, and whoop, it was all expanded out. So one good thing about the weather today.
Nice.
But don't put your artwork, especially encaustic
Yeah.
work, in the back of your
Yes.
car today.
Absolutely.
So Kim, tell us about what you're going to be bringing to the art show. You mentioned one piece.
The title of the show is Figment, and like I said before, this is very imaginative. So I'm kind of across the board. Everything is alive. There's eyes. Or they're either people or animals, but it's very ethereal, possibly dreamlike, vibrant colors, tons of pen work.
Yes, lots of detail. I think, Kim, you probably have the most steady hand of anybody ever in the history of the world.
It's my happy place. Totally where I want to go. That's all I want to do is just be doing pen work.
Nice. So when you say pen work, do you mean literal pens then, right?
Yep. Special pens, archival ink. And I do my paintings, and then I come back in with the pens and create designs or bark. But I get lost in the bark. It's lots of crazy designs in there, really. And I get designs from all cultures, even. Like if I can put a design in something, it usually finds a way in.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. I mean, I love a good whimsical art. You said ethereal. I think looking at some of the stuff that I have seen of your work that I looked at before, I think whimsical would also be a good term for it, which is right up my alley personally.
Definitely, yeah. When whimsical, I'd agree.
I'm a fan. I am.
Yay.
I truly am. And
So am I.
of course, Jamie, I've known you for years. I love your art. I love your
Thank
work. So tell us a little bit about. Do you have any education? Do you have any formal training in art, or is this something you've kind of learned over the years?
I'm self-taught.
Very cool.
And one thing that I'm really excited to do tonight at the Art Talk is to talk about the evolution of my artistic style, because it's something that doesn't happen immediately, and it's been very interesting to look back. When I was collecting images for the talk tonight, it was just kind of astounding to see how far I've changed. I mean, there's a little bit carrying through all of it that you can tell it's me, but I definitely entertained a couple different styles and have it all led up to what I do now. So that's pretty interesting.
That's gotta be a great feeling when you try something new. You stand back and it's like, wow.
Okay, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing this and add a little more. That's kind of what happened.
I mean, I don't have any of that skill at all, but I would imagine that's just a very sort of cathartic, wonderful feeling to just try something new and it works. I know, you know, building stuff, it's great. I can imagine. And Jamie, so I've seen a couple of the photos of some stuff that you're bringing in, and it seems a little different than some of the stuff I've seen from you in the past.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm still working with the same themes. I work a lot with themes of nostalgia and home. So that's always a central theme in my work. I'm just rendering it in a new way. The sculptural work is probably the newest as far as, you know, breaking away from doing print work and mixed media painting. The sculpture is something I haven't done in quite a while, but really excited about the work that I came out with. I'm pretty proud of it. So
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good show. There's lots of good stuff happening around town. And Tim, if you ever feel the need to jump in here, you just shout something out, and we can repeat it. Poor Tim. I'm sorry, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Tim over there, just kind of quietly.
Mum.
He's quality control back there.
I like it.
Making sure
I like
everything,
it.
overseeing things. So is there anything else you want to do? Do you want to tell us about anything else that's happening tonight? What you have special things you're bringing for the talk afterwards today, which is going to be at the Courtside Brewery.
Yeah, so I'm doing it similar to Kim. It's going to be more of a timeline from my early work. I'm going to talk about my undergraduate show, and then the work that I did in graduate school, and then the work that I've been doing recently. So setting it up like a timeline.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So mine is more like process and then evolution of the style, and then a whole blast of my latest things.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so outside of this, is there anything you've been, any shows you've done recently, any shows you have coming up? Not to take away from Thursday, but, you know.
I'll be at the New Moon Gallery in the spring, 2025. But that's my next show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is that?
In Spokane
Okay.
on Sprague Avenue.
Very cool. And Jamie, same question to you. And I know you've been just busy up in Colville with the art scene.
I have.
Working behind and in front of the scenes.
I have. So I'm going to be showing at the Colville Art Walk in September, and I'll be showing at Home Sweet Home. And I've been volunteering with Colville Together to organize that event, and it's a really fun event that happens on the 4th Friday of every month through September. Really fun event. Live music, art walk, lots to do.
Very cool.
And I forgot a show that I'm having in November at the Liberty Gallery downtown Spokane.
Great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sorry.
No, please. Any jump on in. Anything you want to bring. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the art walk in general this week. We got there's stuff going on around town. There's going to be some great shows happening. Obviously, at the Trails End Gallery is going to be your work featured. I'm really looking forward to that. And again, the art talk. You guys are going to be there at 6:30 to 8:30 tonight at the Courtside Brewery, discussing your work and your processes. And then the quilted art is going to be featured by Kelly Hubbard and Nance Hall. That's going to be at the McCunn Gallery at the Mountain Market on Main. Tracy Manley is going to be at Courtside Brewing. And at the Aaron Huff Memorial Center is going to be a retrospective of Jim Coleman. For people that didn't know Jim, he was a local artist, tinkerer, kind of an all-around man. The guy did everything. One of those just a unique, fun individual. Did a lot of work with the Creative District. He helped build the kiosk that's out in front of the city hall and the signage that are around town. He passed away. We lost him, unfortunately, last year to cancer. And so it's kind of a retrospective of his career and his just wonderful sort of unique brand of weirdness that made him such a lovable guy. Mail carrier, you know.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
really
cool.
looking forward to that. And is there anything you want to add about the art walk that you can shout from over there?
We don't have AC, but the building stays really cool.
Oh, if you couldn't hear that,
That's
he said there's no AC, but the building does stay really cool. And there's wine and water.
Yes, wine, water, chilled wine, chilled water. Yeah.
I think Margot Setti's going to be at the
Margot
Yale
Setti.
Press too.
At the
Yes.
Yale Press.
Oh my goodness, it's right there, and I missed it right over. And I had lunch with Margot today, sitting over there. Well,
Can't
I
forget
had
Margot.
I had my lunch while she was trying to sit in peace, and I talked to her the whole time while I was eating. So
Awesome.
thank you for listening to me, Margot. Yeah, she has a bunch of the pieces that were featured at the plein air event, which is really neat. Some of the stuff that came out of that plein air event is amazing. And I know, Jamie, you had pieces. Kim, were
I
you a
had
part?
one
You did?
piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am so impressed with some of the, just to be able to stand there and not just the amazing quality of the pieces, but the variety of pieces that came out of that were just mind blowing to me.
It was super fun to
I think
be.
it has to be a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulling yourself out of the studio where you can labor over a piece, over labor sometimes, overwork,
Absolutely.
and get out there and just, you've got to be fresh and you've got to push yourself.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time.
Yeah. And how much time did you guys have to
I think it was 3 days,
Yeah,
wasn't
Friday,
it?
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And was it just those 3 days, 24 hours, or were there certain hours of the day?
No, just
Did you lord over them with the stopwatch,
Oh, no.
Tim?
3 days.
No, that's
And we did that to give them 2 evenings and 2 mornings because a lot of plein air painting is about the light.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you didn't hear that,
Chime in on that.
yeah,
Explain the process.
yeah. Why don't you guys go ahead? Don't let me talk about it. Sort of talk about the process of that and what
Of
Tim
the
was
plein
saying
air?
that our audience didn't hear.
Well, the plein air for me, I was set up in town and I was working with acrylics and I was working small. And I really loved chatting with people that were passing by and just enjoying my time painting. It was really fun. But yes, definitely light changes quickly and you just have to paint fast, which can be challenging.
Yeah. How about you?
Definitely. I was on a beautiful farm and I lined up some really amazing subjects, and there was a windmill and just the sound of the windmill the whole time that I was there, because you see windmills, but I don't usually sit underneath one. And so it was just really amazing that all your senses were working to do this painting. And I worked there one day, and then I took it home and I did my pen work and varnished it and then brought it back, so I
Yeah.
did the outside work outside, but then I had to do a little bit more in my studio.
I don't know if I can even imagine the sound. I don't think I've ever been that close to a windmill either. Can you describe the sound to us?
It groans and clicks and screeches a little, but nicely screeches, not weirdly screeches.
Kind of the way the old screen doors would,
Yeah.
which is such a lovely, wonderful,
Yeah.
nostalgic sound.
It was
Yeah.
wonderful. I
Oh,
really
I can
loved
imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine. And I know, I was talking with Margot earlier about doing the plein air event last year up at the golf course, and that one was more almost like a spectator event. There were people passing through, and sometimes, I know I talked to Red, who throws clay. She had a crowd of people surrounding her, watching her do clay work. So these plein air events are not only just a way to sort of get out and connect; it's a way to connect with your audience in a
Absolutely.
very cool, unique way that I think a lot of artists don't always get the chance to do. And Tim, you're going to be doing this every year now, right? He's nodding his head yes, everybody. I think that's exciting, and I think it was well received. Was it not?
It was well received.
Yeah.
And I want it to be a 1-month event.
Mm-hmm.
These paintings are really modestly priced.
Yep.
They're generated, and I want to, it's fresh.
Yeah.
I want people to come in and shouldn't have to labor over, a lot of these. And we sold 17 pieces, which was nice.
Wow. If you guys didn't hear that, Tim said he sold 17 pieces that that
And it was nice.
that show. Yeah,
Just, it was really fresh.
I know I enjoyed driving around and pointing. You drive around. Oh, there's somebody. Oh, there's somebody. How many artists in total did you have take part in that?
24.
24
61 pieces of art.
with 61 pieces of art. That was a really great event, and it was really cool to have that happen with people here from creative districts around the state, as well as our local artists, and really showcase. It was a really great way to showcase a lot of our local art.
And it was inexpensive. To
Yes.
$10. It was non-juried.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody got a poster, which was fun. Had a poster turned around in 3 days.
Nice.
I would like to grow it. I mean, really, if you had 60 artists,
Mm-hmm.
and they averaged 3 paintings each, the whole town
Oh yeah.
could have plein air throughout the whole town.
And again, if people couldn't hear that, he was saying that if you had up to like 60 artists, you could sort of paint the whole town,
Yeah.
and
Should
have
be an all-town
artwork.
event.
Yeah, and have
Should be
artwork
all
have the whole town take part in that and
Yep.
showcase all that art. I know we spread some of that out into the cultural center for the creative district, and again, that was well received to be able to go and see some of it at one place, some of it another, and I love that idea of taking that to all of the locations that participate in the art walk.
And the variety of subjects. I mean, you had, of course, landscapes, but you also had close-ups of flowers and animals, and lots of slices of Americana. Was pretty cool.
And everything from realism to, there were a few pieces that were really kind of abstract that were some of my favorites.
Yeah.
I believe there was one where she actually like wiped everything off and sort of left like the imprint of what had been painted.
Those are the image,
Yeah. Yeah, I love that one. Of course, Linda Hyatt Cancel, she's been on the show here a couple of times, I believe. And she's
Once.
I love her art. Well, she's in my heart all the time. So there's that. Wow. Okay, so I wish I could have you on your mic, Tim, because
Here, I can move this one.
I just feel bad.
I'll stand.
We'll adjust a little bit.
I want to hear your take on this, Tim. I keep wanting to ask you questions, and I just want to hear, what you think about this month and what you got going on in the next upcoming months. I know they're going to be back again next month.
Well, it's been a really busy summer schedule already, and putting this show together on the heels of the plein air show, it's been a lot of work at the gallery. But the gallery is booked through 2026.
It's incredible.
And the important thing about something like the Winterfest or plein air show is it gives an artist that maybe I'm not currently showing, it gives them a chance to either, submit and have their work juried in, or in the plein air to do their art. We had aspiring artists next to professionals, and the gallery, when it was hung, was beautiful.
It really was.
And I think it's good for other artists to come and network and talk with each other and see what other people are doing. They're like fingerprints. Everyone's different, and all their nuances of style and their color choices and everything. I was just really satisfied with seeing this show, but really happy to hear that the artists really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you mentioned having the aspiring artists next to the seasoned professionals. Did you notice any trends in sales? Was it heavy towards one or the other? Was it a nice mix?
It was actually a nice mix.
Yeah.
Like I said, the art was very affordable, and really to have a chance to own originals.
Yes.
And support the artists. That's really, I think, what that event was about. But it's really, my goal for it, like we said, is that it will be an all-town event, that we would get participation to the point where there would be an installation at the brewery, at the McCunn Gallery, at the Yale Press, at the Spotlight Gallery, that we would have this really fun thing and maybe even go for it and try to put together a catalog quick enough that would say who's where would be really neat. And that's kind of like higher order thinking. That's beyond my,
Right.
I'm not there yet. But I think it would be really fun. And when you have a 3-day event, you got the possibility of people staying overnight or with friends or whatever, and then eating, restaurants and really partaking in the culture of Chihuahua for that 3-day period. And I got really positive feedback from people about that. And I had people come in and, oh, God, I was looking around town and I was seeing people on corners painting and, out in the field. And I just thought it was neat. It's kind of an interactive experience doing that.
And you mentioned a little bit about the culture of Chihuahua, and one of the one of the major actually points that we got back with feedback from the convening was that people came to our town and they felt welcomed in, they felt invited, they felt that they were just experiencing the culture of Chihuahua, which was exactly what we were trying to do, but we didn't, other than a few things for the convening, we didn't really do anything outside of what normally happens during the week, and people were blown away. And I really think that was a cool sort of thing that we were really trying to do and were successful at, is just getting people to come and experience Chihuahua.
Well, the show too, the plein air show with the and the creative district people in town, Arts Wall, and the whole bit. I think we had over 200 people come through the gallery.
Yeah,
it wasn't just plein air work that was selling; it was other work too. But a lot of people were just kind of shocked, really, that we have a gallery, like this here.
I'm going to say it of this caliber, Tim. Don't worry, I'll say it for you.
Well, it's just professional. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
I wanted to create a space that was comfortable and just had all different kinds of art. To challenge the senses, and that's what I like about this show too, is it was after the third winter, was that? After the fourth Winterfest, that I approached both of them and asked them if they would want to do a show together. My problem now is I'm booked out so far, so it was kind of fun to go, what would it be like to have two artists show together? And I want dissimilar work. I think we're here to show the, Chihuahuans, whatever.
Yeah.
That art is such a unique event, and it's a very personal thing, and it's very, the artist really kind of bears their soul. They're presenting their ideas on life and visually, and I think it takes a lot of not only talent, but I think it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there like that. And it's nice to be able to have a venue to give artists that opportunity.
It is. And I think we've talked about this before too, it's really great to have, the art talks and have the artists there, because you really get so much more, you understand more about the pieces by meeting the artist and being able to have the conversations with them. Do you find as artists that it helps other people understand your art? Do you feel more comfortable with your art when you get to talk to people about it?
It's always a little nerve-wracking to get up in front of people and talk about your artwork, but I think it is an important aspect of showing, and it is really nice to explain the work to people before they go and see it. It gives a little bit of a background, so I think that it is really important. And with showing with Kim, our work is really different, but I think that we have some similarities too. I feel like our work is both very emotional. is how I would describe it.
I definitely wear my heart on my sleeve in
Aw.
in my art. And I think the radio show or the art talk, you're going to probably learn a lot more about me than I would feel comfortable saying on the gallery floor. You know, I just, it's a way that it kind of forces me out of my shell a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very good thing.
I
Is-
can relate to that as well. I can
Yeah.
absolutely relate to that.
Is this either one of you? Is this have you done art talks like this before? Or
I have.
Okay.
So I've done a few. It's been a while,
Mhm.
but I have done a few.
now Jamie, you actually taught a class at the high school here.
I did,
yeah.
yeah. And then I taught in Valley. I did a workshop. That was middle school kiddos. But yeah, it was a really fun experience. For both workshops, I did jelly plate printmaking, which is a really easy way to do printmaking without a press. And there's an element of surprise with printmaking that I really enjoy, and I think that the kids really enjoyed that as well. And there's a lot of different things that you can do with that process.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have done other radio shows or print interviews, but I have never done a talk in front of my images flashing on the screen, which I think is going to be really fabulous because it's going to help me talk, give you an inside view of what, why, how. You know, I think it's going to be great, actually.
Yeah, I love that. So let's go ahead and start. Are you guys ready to show some of your work
Sure.
and talk
Sure.
about some of the work we got going on here? Let me get my camera up so the people watching on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook or YouTube, you can go on there now and log in and find us on KCHW on Facebook. And we're about to show some of this artwork. Okay, so tell us about what we have up here now.
This is called Eternity, and this is mine. It's from a quote that I read. It's from my rotting body, flowers shall grow, and I am in them, and that is eternity. And the quote just rocked me from Edvard Munch. And so I had to do it. I had to paint this, and you know, I just think it's a beautiful cycle, and for me, that's a perfect eternity right there.
So tell us about a little bit some of the techniques you've used here and what mediums you have here.
I use transparent acrylic paint first, and then I create textures using a bunch of different methods. There's probably salt and saran wrap and things like that, but I use resist to keep it out of the parts that I don't want the textures in, like the flowers and the lady. She definitely has textures, but it's much, much lighter, and it's a different layer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's many layers, and then on top of it all, there's the pen work. And I'm not sure how much you're picking that up, but there's, that's like the final thing that really sets it off.
Yeah, yeah, you can get a really close look.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I want to keep asking. I would want to ask a million questions about all the pieces, but I see a pattern on her skin. Is that something that you actually hand drew, or is that a technique that you used with
It's
another?
a technique I use, and I wanted her to be rotting but not disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a very, very light couple washes with, I made the texture using like this cling wrap kind of overlay thing. And it allows some of the paint to be absorbed and some of it stays on the cling wrap. So you never know what you're going to get when you pull it up. It's always a surprise. It's like the coolest thing ever. You have to leave it for hours, like for a minimum of 8 hours, and you have to go away and not touch it. And then so in the morning, you pull up your cling wrap, and here's this really amazing thing. And you're just like, okay, I can't wait to do
She's
more.
gorgeous. It has almost a floral effect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's. I could talk about this one forever. I love it.
It is pretty amazing.
It is. And this gentleman here.
Is the Fox and Rocks that I was talking about, like realistic with a twist. I had a 12-year-old friend's son want to model for me, and I had not had a young person model for me before, and I was really excited. And of course, at that age, they're all feet and hands, and like a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And he liked foxes, and so I turned him into a fox. And the rocks are from a walk that I went on with a friend and took some pictures. So it's like things from my life turn into magical, ethereal worlds.
I love that.
It
Yay.
is gorgeous. And do I see some of that same
Yep.
cling wrap technique
sure
on
do.
there? Wow. Very cool.
It lends itself to so many different things. I try not to overuse it, but I really love it.
No, it's cool. And this looks, it's clearly the same technique, but a completely different
Different use.
image and use. And that there's, yeah. Very
Absolutely.
neat. And so the paint, is that what kind of paint are you using there? Is that like a
It's acrylic.
acrylic? Okay.
But I use transparent instead of opaque,
Okay.
and I water it down and use it like watercolor, and so I can do many layers.
Okay.
And I think it builds, and it really creates a richness.
I was going to say there's a flow to it. It almost has a watercolor feel, but it's
Yeah.
clearly not watercolor.
No, I don't love watercolor
Yeah.
because I scrub it up. But the acrylic, I found a way to use it transparently and just build.
Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the next one here. I could look at him forever too.
This is
Wow.
Trickster Tea.
She's gorgeous. All right, so these are the same acrylic paint.
Yes. I love working with models. I started with my very first model probably in 2014. And because I'm really a stickler for anatomy, I want things to be true. And so of course, the coyote is your original trickster. And I loved the idea of joining the trickster for tea. First and foremost.
I love it. And you talk about anatomy, and like she is very perfectly proportioned. And you talked about some of the anatomy with the gentleman fox before, and the large hands and the feet. I love the play on sort of the proportions and the anatomy. I love it.
I really enjoy getting the anatomy correct and then putting my twist on it. Like the dress and the shoes and the braided rug was just so fun.
You said the dress and the shoes. I was just about to say there's something striking about that yellow dress with the bright red shoes.
Yay.
I love it. That's what kind of stood out to me.
And just what a trickster would do,
Right?
And the level of detail in that rug and
rug is
the
phenomenal.
wallpaper blows my mind. It's
Yay.
incredible.
It almost makes you overlook it because it looks like it's real in the background,
Wow.
So it's unreal. And when you start looking at the details, it's so uniform and perfect.
Yay.
That's
Thank
impressive.
you.
All right, what
It
else
was
we
very
have?
impressive.
We got Jamie up next.
Okay, Jamie's art is up next. Do we need to readjust our camera? Our camera here is so wonky. I don't know if we want to readjust it.
Blow it up.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just going to try to zoom in a
Yeah.
little bit.
All right.
If anybody out there has any
That's a little one, so.
webcams or decent cameras they're not using, please, we need better cameras here. All right, so tell us about what we have here.
Okay, so this is a little one. This one is titled, I believe it's titled Coming Home. And it is acrylic with a found photograph and writing that I created using discarded books where I cut out pieces of sentences or just random words that I find compelling, and then I put them together to create my own story. So that's what we have here.
And
And
so
I can't see that far away, and I don't have it memorized, but there's a little story. on that piece as
I was
well.
just going to say the wording on there on the camera is a little fuzzy. We
Yeah.
can't really read it. But if you want to read it, this painting will be at the Trails End Gallery tomorrow night during the Art Walk.
Yes, it will.
I like how she placed the photograph and the painting. It almost makes the photograph look slightly transparent
Yeah.
as that back, the horizon line moves through it in the sky. She picked that up through the photograph. I think that was a really nice touch.
Thank
And-
you.
And
Yeah.
you've created the background, right?
Yes.
That's like really
Yes.
beautiful
But it
colored
really-
paint.
It really pulls into the photo.
It
It
does.
really it really holds the piece together tight.
Thank you.
For the
Very
people
nice.
watching on camera, I don't know if the camera is picking up exactly how seamlessly that black and white photo kind of flows into the background. So
Into a
it's
very
really well done.
vibrant background.
Yeah, it's really
Yes.
well done. It almost looks like you painted the black and white on top of the color.
I agree.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
I love it. And your colors in the skylight are just gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it took some time, but I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
All right, what do we have? What do we have up next here?
So this one is titled Grandma's Hands, and over at the gallery you'll see several other pieces that are food related. I was thinking a lot about my grandmothers and just remembering their kitchens and just how a lot of my favorite memories are set in the kitchen. And this one includes found images, recipes, and found objects, different photographs. And yeah, it's more of a sculptural piece to evoke a sense of nostalgia.
Oh, nostalgia is the word I was just going to
Mhm.
use. The second I saw it, it made me think of. I mean, what's probably the most of us have fond memories of our being in the kitchen with Grandma.
Absolutely. Some of my favorite
And-
memories are
And this-
definitely that.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day about how many, just in general, so many of our memories, so many of our important things throughout our life happen around food, around family and food, and this really just sort of it's emotional, and it really brings that out. It's really really impressive.
Thank
Really
you.
intense.
Thank you.
Construct the cutlery tray, or was that found?
I
That's
found that and I
really
decided not to change that, and then I found some really fun.
clever.
Thank you. I found some really fun just newspaper clippings and recipes that I included in that.
Yeah, and intense nostalgia is a word I'd use. Yeah,
Thank you.
Cursive writing.
yes,
Very nostalgic.
it does. You know what that cursive writing reminds me of? At our house, we have from my wife's grandmother boxes full of handwritten recipes from not only her grandmother but her great grandmother. Some of them from the 40s.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
the Depression era. Some, making desserts with soda crackers because that's all they had. Soda crackers and dates.
I love that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me
Yeah,
of.
there's several pieces at the gallery that include the old handwritten recipes and are
Mhm.
related.
Very cool. All right, what else we have?
It's a book, but I'm gonna
It's yeah,
It's
it's
a
a little book.
I'm gonna leave it open just so
Okay.
you can say it's,
You wanna-
it's open.
You're still on camera if you want to talk about it and flip
Okay.
through the.
Yeah, I can read this one. It's a little one
And
here.
you,
Okay.
So
you
this
can't really see what's happening on the camera, but I can sort of guide you if you
Okay.
want to show it.
Okay. Well, I'll read it first and then
Okay.
I can flip through it. So it reads, I have the same dream over and over again. I sat upright. In the waning moonlight, I saw a shadow of a man with a hat. Then I began to understand something. It seemed we had some common heritage and we were family. This one is titled John Rogers, and I did coffee staining and screen print of found photographs, and some of the images in that are family and others are strangers, which I often do that in my work.
So those images are.
The-
Those are screen printed.
Yep, those are screen printed images.
Wow. They remind me of those. What is it? I can't pronounce the word. Daguerreotype.
I can.
Daguerreotype. Thank you, Tim. I knew you'd know it.
Yeah, it's like I also cannot pronounce that.
Daguerreotype. Yes.
There we go.
Was that the sort of the effect you were going for? Because that's.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely.
That
And I,
sepia color really
Yeah,
looks
Mhm.
aged.
it really does.
yeah, I'll scan the images and then I adjust them to take out a lot of the details of the figures and then burn them onto a screen and print them. And then the coffee staining gives a really interesting burned effect to the paper, which I really like. And again, like Kim was saying, that element of surprise, I really like that because you
Wow.
just don't know what you're going to get.
Happy
You know-
accidents.
Yes, I love that.
You know, again, I get the nostalgia vibe I kind of get from this.
Mhm.
This reminds me of going through an old trunk in a secondhand store or in your grandma's attic or something and finding this like, you know, wedged behind one of the, you know, like a lost piece wedged behind there. That's the feeling I get from that. It's very, something that you would be absolutely astounded that you found and probably put in a frame and be like, oh my goodness, this was my great-great-grandmother's book from her trip she took in the 1920s. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I
Gorgeous.
appreciate that.
I love it. All right, so that was what we had, what you brought with us today, and you guys both have more pieces at the Trails
Lots.
and Gallery tonight.
Yes, there is a lot of work.
Yes, or sorry, the Trails and Gallery tomorrow night. Tonight you're going to be at the Courtside Brewery at 6:30
Yep.
for your art talk. And
Correct.
unfortunately, I can't make it, but I hope everyone else does, and I really hope you guys have a great talk, and I'm really looking forward to being there tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
and seeing your work. I'm excited. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And thank you to Tim
you.
and Trails and Gallery.
Yes, Tim.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We're gonna
Thank
be.
you.
And we do these the first Wednesday of every month. Well, this month it was the second Wednesday because of 4th of July weekend. Weekend. It's in the middle of a week. Who puts a holiday in the middle of the week?
I
Right.
know.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. This has been Jamie Thompson, Kim Long. They're going to be once again at the Trails End Gallery. If you missed earlier, the art walk is happening. The first Thursday art walk. Oh, my picture got really small. What happened there? That is happening tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Chewelah. There's going to be Jamie Thompson and Kim Long at the Trails End Gallery. Margot Setti is going to be featured at the Yale Press. We're having the Jim Coleman retrospective. That's going to be at the Spotlight Gallery in the Aaron Huff Memorial Cultural Center. Quilted Art by Kelly Hubbard and Nance Hall are going to be at the McCunn Gallery at the Mountain Market on Main. And Tracy Manley is going to be at Quartzsite Brewing. Again, that's tomorrow night from 5 to 8. It's going to be warm, but hopefully by then it should be starting to cool down a little bit. So don't be afraid. There's lots of places with air conditioning. It's going to be a great night for art. This one feels special to me. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. Is there any parting words you want to have before we go?
Just looking forward to the opening and seeing everyone tonight at the art talk.
Tim?
I appreciate you having us.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Nope,
off.
that's okay.
Tim, give it.
Thank you, Chuck. We really appreciate the opportunity to have artists come in and us talk about the gallery, and it's awesome. Your station's awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you being here, Tim. I appreciate all of this. Being able to do this is so fun. I love this. Is one of my favorite days of the month, and I wish I would have had our mic ready, Tim. I'm sorry about that. But next time we will. But once again, thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much, listeners, for listening to KCHW 102.7. This has been About the Arts on the first or second Wednesday of the month. And we'll get back to our regular programming right now. All you guys driving home, please be safe out there. It is hot. Stay covered up. If you haven't heard from a loved one or a neighbor in the last couple of days, please go check on them. Make sure everybody's okay. Check on your family. Keep your pets inside. Stay safe out there. Stay cool. Thank you so much for listening. This has been KCHW 102.7, your Northern Lights Public Radio.
Ooh.
Bravo.
All right.
Oh, I didn't hit my button. I was supposed to hit the button. Sorry about that, everybody.
And now we return you to